How's it going, everyone? I'm sorry, I looked dirty. I made bourbon chicken today for dinner. My mom and I did, but we didn't have bourbon. We had rum, and I made some stir fry with green beans, onions, serrano pepper, and jalapeno. Whew, that was spicy, man. And I like the rum is kind of sweet. I guess it kind of numbs your mouth a little. That's why I like That is why I like what kind of pepper is it? Can't remember now. They like numb your mouth, whatever they are. But anywho. So this is kind of different, I guess. So my grandfather died. So what happened is, first I should say this. I've known him all my life. We would go over to their house every Sunday, and after my accident, I had a traumatic brain injury in '03. I was in a coma 6 weeks, induced, mind you. And I woke up and I was blind, and I got my sight back, but I lost my smell. And I went over there more, I guess, because I can't drive, I'm legally blind, but I noticed he started getting, you look at a picture of him from like 2010. He's got such dark skin. It's like red almost because he's outside all the time, in his garden and working his truck. And he was kind of not chubby, but he was meaty, I guess. And then like the next year, it's like 3/4 of his body weight was gone. He was so pale. And I got a picture of him. If you look at his legs when he's sleeping on his bed, there really is like nothing there but bone. I mean, it's sad. It's so sad. But then, since he was a kid, he had asthma, and he had COPD from smoking so much. He was probably smoking since he was 14 or 15. My grandmother, when she first met him, she was attracted because he rolled his own cigarettes, right? So then he had, on top of that, he found out he had an aorta something in his aorta. The next day it burst. So luckily, somehow, he made it to the hospital. My grandmother called 911. She told him what they just found out, and they were able to save him. So on top of all that stuff, and the getting thin and all, he was in the hospital, and they found out he had kidney disease and liver disease. He used to take a lot of Tylenol. He started taking, and albuterol too. I don't know what that does, but then they found out he had heart disease. One of his main heart valves was fine, but the other one was like this, so much bigger. And when they would give him stuff because he was completely, in his death certificate, it says malnutrition and dehydration. When they would give him stuff to make him not dehydrated, it would enlarge the one and push on the other. The wall was, I didn't want to say this, but the wall of the one was really thick, and that comes from smoking. So on top of all that, he also had lung disease, stage 4 emphysema. I think that's what it was. So how he was able to stand up at all, walk around, he would breathe like, and yet he would get mad when someone would say something about smoking, or when a doctor told him to go see a lung specialist, he would get mad about that. And how sad is that, Anyone that smokes, go for it, man. I'm not putting you down, but to be that stubborn, where you literally, people are telling you all these things, you will not listen. It's just, and I would not go see him in the hospital. I didn't want to see him like that. And my mom said something once, like, Josh didn't want to see you. He's downstairs, and he shook his head no. See, I was downstairs at the hospital. I just walked back and forth. I liked walking back and forth. Well, the one day, I walked 3.75 miles just walking back and forth in the hospital, And the last time we went was a Tuesday. Monday. No, it was Tuesday. We went, and we came home, and they said something was going weird. He was kind of acting erratic, so we went back. And I was walking, and for some reason, I charged my phone. I brought my charger with me. And after it charged, I didn't want to stand back up. It was weird. The first time I really didn't want to get back up. So I just sat there. And my mom said, we're leaving. I said, I'm going to stay. She said, please don't stay. I said, I want to stay. She said, I thought you were going to watch a 4K movie tomorrow because my stepfather was going somewhere for the day. I said, I'd rather watch Joe K. And she said, well, I'm going to stay with you. I said, hey, roomie. So she came down. My stepfather's face got dark purple because he had something to go do to this place called The Lodge where he was going to help him clean. And he was going to have to come back and get her. Look at me stuttering. He was going to have to come back and get her and the next morning. I think it was going to interfere with the schedule, which is kind of sad, I think that he cared about that so much. But then, on top of that, she was going to have to go home and get my grandmother. So it was so much stress. I said, no, I'm not going to stay. But she said, he's coming home tomorrow. And I looked her right in the eye and I said, T, if I leave here today, I'm never going to see him again. And I was kind of had a feeling to go to his room and say hi to him. And maybe he would have set up and hugged me. And he would have, I know he would have died in my arms. I know without a doubt in my mind. So I went home, and then I woke up, and I was kind of mad, so I didn't really answer when she called me. She called me a few times. I didn't answer. And she texted me something. I looked at it. I read the text. She said, I'm on the way. And that's what I read. And then later on, I was talking to my aunt about him, too, saying I don't think he should really come home because he had a catheter in. They put a hospital bed in his living room. He couldn't eat or drink. My grandmother would have to do all this stuff for him. She's in her 70s, so how, and she smokes, so she said she'd go on the porch when she smoked. How would she ever have did it, you know? There's no way she would have stressed out so much, and they all got mad at me for saying that. There's no way he could have came home, but anyway. The next day, like 12:15, he died. After a priest blessed him, my mom said he looked so relaxed, so that's interesting, but, and I knew it. I knew without a doubt he wouldn't be coming home, so, anywho. Let's say let me see here. I wrote a poem. No, I'm not Poem Pete or nothing. Let's see here. I wrote something. I don't know if it's called a poem. It's kind of like a, I kind of thought of like a song, or I don't know if it's, maybe the first one's a song, the second one's a poem, so let me see where it is. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, here's one. Let's see. Let me read the first one first. That's normally how you do things. And again, I don't know if this sounds right. Let me see. Let me see. It's weird though that I didn't see that, you know. I read my text. I always read my text because I'm legally blind, so I make sure to read my text good. And it just didn't see it. Let me see. Okay. So this isn't something you can talk about how good or bad it is. I don't care. It's just I wrote it. So it says, I'm sitting in a hospital. Now this was done 3 days ago. I'm sitting in a hospital, a place where dreams are started and hope is tested or taken away. It is simply a building. Floors, walls, doors, and halls. Those things have no hearts or feelings. A life about to end, one I've known all my life. They leave behind kids and wife, grand and great-grandkids as well. Heaven bound, they'll skip hell. A working man with muscle and bone, a life lived long from what the pictures have shown. No more pain or bills, nervous feelings or grief. A slow ride up with pillowy relief. I can't say goodbye while you breathe. I won't see you that way. I speak best with my writing. God made it that way. To the man I've been with all of my life, don't hate me, Joseph, if I kill your wife. It will be a long time to me until I see you once more. When again us two meet, ask God to shine the dance floor. So, I always joke around with my grandmother being crazy, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to put something funny in there. Now, I should say Landon and Gavin and Brooke are his great-grandkids, so you should know that before I read this next part. I've heard that sitting in a hospital, you know. I thought, why not? Let me see, where's the other one? Let me see here. Let me see here. Somewhere. I'm sorry I'm making you guys wait. Let me see. Well, I gotta find it now. I need to go on my own page. I don't have to look at all this other stuff. Let me see. I think I'm on my own page. I'm damn cold. Let me see. My stomach's making sounds. I always post this thing from Mystic Stamp on there too, because he was a postal worker, and I still post. I wasn't going to, but I still post it now because why not? Okay, so here's the next one I wrote. Now remember, Brooke and Landon and Gavin are his great-grandkids, and said Gavin, my second cousin. He lives downstairs with my aunt and uncle. His mom lives somewhere else, but he played with my grandfather every day, and they still haven't told him he died. And they're going to tell him tomorrow, I think. He's slightly autistic, so how's he going to take that, you know? So let's see. Okay. Again, I don't know how these sound. I just wrote them. I started this in the hospital, and I finished it when I got home. I might have finished it in the car. Like the wind in a valley that blows, elephants born with a real long nose, pointy thorns and he rose. You were there. Each and every single day, all the silly words you would say, laughing and loving the life you had, like a hit movie 20 years ago. But a memory, but great place to go, to remember all the feelings from that time. There he was, with golden answers and a soft but firm helping hand. I can no longer stand right by your side, but that's okay. I won't cry, for all the years of good and bad, all the fun days that you had. I'm so glad now that you're up there, with a big fun smile on your face. Goodbye for now, it will be a while. How long will I live? How many mile will I walk in these shoes of mine? I can't dream that ever I will see all you have before I reach the sky. But one day, man, what a thing it will be to sit with you and let you see who I am, what I've become. You can smoke, and I'll chew gum. I swear the old will find grass to mow somehow. So to the man that made me what I am, I'm glad our meeting was in God's plans. And until the two of us hold hands once more, goodbye to you, and please be sure I'll carry your heart on each time I walk out the door. I'll try to show Gavin the manly way to plow. I'll keep my anger down and calm. I'll smile as Brooke goes to the prom, and be happy each time I see your brothers too. So if this has been long and a pain to read, that's okay. It's what I need. So I can say one last goodbye to the kindest guy I'll ever know, taught all the good things that I know, and I assure you, when I enter that blue sky, I'll make sure you're the first one that knows. So that might not all work together. I messed up some when I read it, but I don't know. It made me feel better, you know. That one kind of got me a little teary, a little kind of feeling, but what can you say to a man that you've known your entire life, you know? And again, I'm not going to go to his funeral. Some people might be mad about that, but funeral's just a show, you know. He doesn't care about that. So, thanks for checking it out.